If you've joined this video, chances are you're exploring the notions of FPV drones and whether they are right for you. Or you're watching along for the hell of it. Well, hopefully this will be of interest to you one way or the other. I'm going to begin by explaining some of the key differences between cinematic drones and FPV drones before exploring the differences in how they fly. So let's begin. In front of me we have the DJI FPV, two of, and the DJI Mini 2 and Mini 3. Now these are an example of an FPV drone and a cinematic drone respectively. Now these look pretty similar, and to some degree they are, and a lot of the similarities apply within the DJI ecosystem. However, there will be a greater variation if you look towards other manufacturers. But anyway, in this case they both host 4 propellers. The DJI Mini 2 and 3 have 2, whereas FPV tend to lean towards 3. But depending on use and preference, you can use between 2 and 6 blades. Why do FPV drone propellers have more blades? Well, the number of blades will affect agility, thrust, drag, battery performance. The more blades a propeller has, the more thrust it creates, but also the more drag it creates. The extra force depletes the battery life, but can offer significant improvements in drone speed and handling. So why settle for just 3? For most FPV applications, 3 blades provides the best balance and overall performance. The DJI FPV has rigid arms. Not all FPVs do, and in some cases they don't have arms at all, instead opting for a Cinehoop layout, like the Avata. With this drone, we also have the added arm braces. Body shape is different, and the cameras are different, but the main differences between these two types of drone come when they fly. Firstly, let's look at the cameras. Now you may be thinking, how does the camera affect flight? And how are they different? They're both on a gimbal after all. Well, the key way to view it is the camera on a cinematic drone is designed for capturing footage. You can control the camera independently of the drone and capture planned imagery and movement. You fly using line of sight, and the live view is designed to allow for the capture of content. The FPV camera, although on a gimbal, is designed to provide, as it says in the name, a first-person view. The view from this drone is what gives you the ability to control it. What you see is what allows you to control the drone. You can change the angle of this camera up and down, and this changes how the drone handles, and the higher the angle, the more forward-facing the propellers become, with a level field of view. This increases the speed and acceleration, but if you go too far, this can drastically deteriorate the handling of the drone. Now, let's look at the way these two drones fly. The Mini 2 is fairly simple to fly. Obviously, there is a degree of skill when capturing good imagery, composing shots, etc. But the key mechanics of flying a cinematic drone are simple. With the default control setting, you have up and down and yaw on the left stick, and forwards and backwards, left and right on the right stick, and your camera controls are positioned on the back here. Now, when we compare this with an FPV, you have to look at the different modes, as this will affect the controls. With this drone, normal mode remains fairly similar, with up and down, yaw on the left, forward, backwards, tilt and roll on the right. These function similarly to forward, backwards, left and right, as you would know with a cinematic drone, but they're not identical. Normal mode gives you a great chance to get to grips with the idea of tilt and roll. But things get really different when it comes to manual or acro mode. In this mode, the left stick allows you to control the thrust and the yaw, while the right controlling tilt and roll. With no up and down, you need to balance thrust and tilt to control altitude and the forward and backward direction. Now, when it comes to the experience of flying, both are vastly different, and flying FPV is great fun, more thrilling, and it's faster. In this case, with this drone, it will fly almost 3 times faster than this one. Whether it's for you is up to you, but the best place to start would be to get a second-hand controller, similar to the DJI one or a DJI one, and get a simulator and give it a go virtually before you get stuck in properly. So FPV versus cinematic drone, which should you choose? Well, that is up to you. It will depend on what kind of shots you want, your time commitment and effort level. Cinematic will give you nice cinematic, smooth, steady shots. It's literally a gimbal in the sky. Whereas FPV will give you fast-paced, fleeting, dynamic shots, the sort of footage that gets your heart racing. The best place to start is with a cinematic drone like the DJI Mini range. But if you really want to go straight to FPV, get a controller like this one and start on a simulator. I hope this little insight has been helpful. If you have any questions about my experience with FPV, please let me know in the comments. I'm far from an expert, but I will do my best to help. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.